Morning, everyone. I am excited to share several things with you today, which is why I'm a teeny bit late if you're watching live. We have TWOfer today, 2 projects on this Tuesday. And one of the reasons for that is that I made the first project and I thought, oh, I love this. It's really cute. And then I couldn't put the stamp set down. So I had to make a second project. And I saw this paper pumpkin box sitting here for which refills are now available. We'll talk more about that. And I thought, oh, I bet this would be cute with paper pumpkins. So turns out it is. Oh, I just realized I left my cards over there. Turns out it is cute. And so I'm going to show you both cards. But let me show you the stamp set we're using, which might not be the one you think you'd pair with this flowery with love and gratitude paper pumpkin kit. But it worked great. And then I'm going to show you my card inspiration for this too. So here is what we're doing. So we have Trucking Along, the stamp set, and the punch, both in stock at the same time so you can get them. And yes, so if you have one and you were waiting for the other one to come back, you can get it now. If you were just waiting till it all came back, it's all available. And there's a link in the comments on our video this morning so you can grab those. And I'll talk a little bit more about the kit part of that, which is very exciting and starts today. And let me show you the project that that this is based on. So this is a card sent by my friend Laura Brooks. See, she stamped her envelope. And let me show you this card because it is so ingenious. And when she sent it to me, I thought, oh my gosh, that's really clever. How did she do that? So I had to figure it out, and I'm going to show you a little different version. So here's the front of Laura's card. Beautiful. And then here is the, I'm going to cover up that part. Here is the inside of the card. So it opens like this. Hers does. And then it has that designer series paper triangle in the middle. How did she do that? Okay, well, good news. I figured it out. So thanks, Laura, for your inspiration. And let's go ahead and switch our camera down, and I'm going to show you the pieces that we're going to use for this. So basically, we're starting with just a normal half sheet of cardstock, and then we're going to add to that a piece of designer series paper that is just a 1/4 inch smaller. So, oops, sorry about that. The designer series paper we're using is Walk in the Woods, and it is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So this is a really, really cool card idea. I'm just going to fold this in half. And, oh, I didn't put it in the supply link, but you're going to need your trimmer. So let's see. I'm also going to see if I can, let's make it, let's see if we can adjust some things here. Nothing like adjusting on the fly, right? There we go. All right. And let's see, we get a little more light on the subject. It's so tricky. Today is a gorgeous, gorgeous sunny day, which means that my studio light gets confused. It has a hard time because there's so much natural light already. So, all right, so we have our trimmer here. And what we're gonna do to make this card, happy Tuesday, everybody. Hey, Mary Ellen, hey, Kelly, Sue, and Elaine, and Tanya, and everybody who's there. Sorry, Mary Ellen, she says it's chilly there. We are actually quite warm here today, so maybe I'll try not to rub it in too much. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to cut the front of our card. This is a fun fold that could not be simpler. So what I do there is I line up the corners of the track with the corners of our card, and I'm just going to split this piece off here. And every time I do this, I have a moment of panic where I think, wait, oh, did I do that right? But I did. So not to fear. And we're going to keep our trimmer handy because we're going to need it for our second card. And then check how simple this is. So Walk in the Forest is gorgeous paper. This is not all of them because I've used so much of it already. It's 12 by 12 paper. It matches the bear punch. And when you order this paper with the fun designs on the back, which is perfect for our card here, you also are supporting the Cards for a Cause. Now I can't remember. I cannot speak either. The Stampin' Up! Making a Difference campaign, and they donate $3 to a organization to support spreading cheer and providing things to those in need. I think in the U.S. the support is going to Toys for Tots, which is a really fun a fabulous organization. So, okay, so there are the backs of it. And the reason this is important that the backs are so great is it's going to show when we put our card together. So look how simple this is. I'm just going to use my glue, add a triangle on there, and glue this down. Make sure you don't go too close to the edges. You don't want the glue to sploosh out around the edges. Hey, Trish. And then I'm going to flip this to the back side. And I'm going to do the same thing, but now I'm going to, wait, that's not what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, don't do that. See, I told you this card, it's so clever. Okay, so quick, get that off of there. And then you're gonna put the glue on this side of the paper on the triangle and pop this cardstock back on the front here. Okay, there we go. Oof, that was almost a disaster. Now, if you ever have a little mishap, maybe, does it happen to you like that, and you accidentally put a little adhesive on the back, cornstarch or rosin or something like that is always a good choice to pop on here. We actually used to have an embossing buddy that was great, and you could use your embossing buddy on there, but just put a little powder on the back to cover up those blue spots and you'll have no problem. All right, so back to our card front here. We are, like I said, using the Trucking Along stamps and punch. So, ouch, I got my finger caught in the punch. Let's go ahead and do some stamping for this one. So there are a lot of pieces here, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the design for this and how we put this card together. I'm going to show you some things that I tried and didn't like, and some things that what we ended up with. So, all right, Trucking Along, lots of little pieces. The colors I'm going with are going to be peacock, pretty peacock, balmy blue, and pecan pie. I had a question that I asked the other day on the LovenStamps Facebook page. If you could only have one color for, I don't remember, a month, I said, or something like that, what color would it be? And I said my color would be pretty peacock. So if you want to chime into that, you have a different favorite color, you should go ahead and chime in over there. So, all right, on a scratch paper, I'm going to go ahead and stamp off, and I'm going to go ahead and put our truck down. And then I'm going to do one more time. So stamping off, and then stamping here on our project. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the outline stamp and do our outline. Now, let's see, can I do this without getting my head in your way? It's so much easier to just hold your head directly over this and go ahead and stamp. There we go. And then usually, so when I started off doing this card, I thought, you know what, I'm going to stamp two because maybe one will be exactly where I want and the other one maybe won't be exactly perfect. But you know what? Then it ended up that I had two projects or two trucks that I wanted to use. So now you can put the goodies in the back, but I'm going to show you a different way to do that. Hey, Deborah, welcome to the live. But I am going to go ahead and stamp the little pieces here. So we're going to go ahead and add our truck tires, and they will line up. The closer you get to the paper, the easier it is to see if you are online to put those in the right place. So just give yourself some grace, practice stamping a few times, and don't fret too much if they're a tiny bit off, okay? All right, so we have our trucks done, and I'm gonna go ahead and punch them out here. So like I said, that was pecan pie for the tires. You could use whatever colors you like. These colors were inspired by the Designer Series paper, which is, I think, a great way to get color inspiration. So, all right. So now I have our trucks. We're going to take one and set it aside for later, and we're going to use one for our project here. Now, this truck is going to pop here onto our card, but I felt like it needed a little extra home. Laura, on her card, did a fantastic job. She added this bright gold ribbon, which really draws your attention and creates that focal point. And so we need to do something here to add some extra to that. So I've got a piece of pecan pie cardstock so that our truck isn't floating. We're going to give it like a home to sit on. And for that, I really thought it would be neat. The truck has all these curved edges to add some curved edges to this. So I'm going to grab my modern oval punch and use a trick that I've taught you guys. If you haven't seen it yet, you're going to want to write this down. You can go back and you can look at the trick that I showed you the other day with another way to use this. But this piece of cardstock is, all right, it is, well, 5 centimeters for you centimeter folk. It is 2 inches actually. You can get away with 2¼ inches for this. So this one's just, I want it a little smaller. And what I'm doing is I'm sliding my paper into the modern oval punch, and then I'm gonna grab the tail and pull it up. So see how it's kind of coming through the punch like this? Then I'm gonna make sure that this is not crooked. So I'm gonna straighten this out. So I'm looking across here. And then I'm gonna do a little bit longer than I need, and I'll show you why in a second. So I've got that straight, and I'm gonna go ahead and punch it. And now I have a rounded corner piece that you could use as a tag, all kinds of things. I actually want it to be a little smaller, and I want to round the back ends of it also. So I'm going to pop this through again and go ahead, and it doesn't like to punch at the very, very end of the cardstock when you're doing this because we're kind of pulling it all out of shape. So give yourself a little extra leeway. I think I'm gonna put it back a little. Make sure it's straight again here, punch, and now you have a rounded corner tag that really matches our truck, okay? So we're kind of adding to our focal point here. We're making this a little stronger so that it has its own like oomph, but we're gonna do some stamping on here. And then I have one more trick that's gonna change the whole look of this, and you're gonna love that, so. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp on our background here. Now we don't want our truck to float, so I am going to give it a base to stand on. And for that, I'm gonna use these little lines here from Trucking Along. And I've got pecan pie, and I want this pretty close to the bottom of our paper here. There we go. Now our truck's gonna sit here, and I said we're going to put the goodies in the back, but we want to make our lives a little easier. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stamp the presents. I picked the presents for this. We're gonna do special delivery and presents, because then you could use this for a winter birthday or a winter fun occasion, or it could be a Christmas card also. But I'm going to go ahead and ink this up in pecan pie, and I'm using this as a guide so I don't get the presents totally in the wrong spot. And then I'm gonna stamp the present outline. So now you see how we've gotten those on here without ever having to work really hard to get that aligned or whatever. We just sort of put them in the background. And then I'm gonna take the present inside stamp. I'm gonna stamp off once on that, and then I'm going to stamp here on our project. And sometimes I stamp the inside of a stamp first, like I did the background on the truck first and then the outline. Sometimes I stamp the outline first and then add the inside. I highly recommend practicing. So, here's our little practices and pieces. Highly recommend practicing to see which one works best for you. And sometimes when you have a stamp that you've used, once or twice from practicing, and it's got that extra ink in it, go ahead and clean it off, because it's easier to see through a stamp when it's clean than it is when it's dirty. So try different things if you're having some trouble with that. Okay, what else do we need on here? We need some clouds in the background. Tanya said it looks easy when you do this. Yes, so I highly recommend practicing. Use your scratch paper. That's what it's for. I do love the Stampin' Upgrade paper. Sometimes I think keeping things straight makes my life easier. And the grid lines just make that really easy to do. So, all right. So I've got some clouds on here. I think that's about what I've got room for. Remember, when you want to add one more, just stop. And then I'm going to use Balmy Blue, and I don't want it to be too strong. So I'm going to fill in the insides of our Balmy Blue with the cloud here. Now I'm kind of messed that one up, so I'm gonna go back. You see where I missed a little bit of that cloud? So here's, I guess, where we'll see what happens. I'm gonna fill in, oh hey, pretty good. Filled in that cloud right there. Sorry about the focus there. All right, so yes, the other thing I really find is, putting your head directly over your project just makes it so much easier to see what you're doing. So when you're stamping two-step, get your head right over there. So if you're working at a desk where it's hard for you to see, pull your project in close to you, stand up, lean over, whatever you need to do to really kind of be on top of that, literally. All right, so now Stampin' Dimensionals, we've got our presents there in the background, and we have our truck that's gonna go on here. And we need a greeting for this, and for that I pulled out my Old Faithful stylish shape dies with all of these circles. So the second smallest circle is the one that I have pre-die cut for us. And the special delivery text fits beautifully on there. Now watch me miss the mark. Nope, we got it. So there's special delivery, and it's gonna fit here on our thing. I love that this looks like a little, I don't know, like a sale tag or something like that, right? Like, woo, wow, something along those lines. But we want to give this just, I feel like on this particular card, it doesn't have that oomph that Laura's had from the ribbon. I want to give this background something else, but not be too busy. And so I was thinking, what goes with a truck? Well, I'll tell you what goes with a truck. The metal plate 3D embossing folder. Holy moly, could this not be more perfect for this truck? So I have another piece of cardstock. This is the same size as the insert of the DSP. So it's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then I went ahead and cut it corner to corner, actually this way, corner to corner, and then put it through our embossing folder. So through the magic of television, I have this really fun metal 3D plate that we can pop into our card. So we're gonna clear this out of the way. I always love to use multi-purpose liquid glue or tear tape or Seal Plus when I'm using a 3D embossing folder, because you just really need the adhesive to get into the nooks and crannies to make sure that everything is attached. So that is going to give us some extra interest here in the background without being overpowering or too busy. And now we have a place to pop our truck. So let's go ahead and put this on. I know you're, shocked, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this on directly without extra dimensionals. I know, calm yourself. It'll be okay. But we have a lot of dimensionals going on here, so. And then we're gonna add our special delivery here over the top. Okay, so special delivery, like that. Now, we need some metallic on here, some kind of bling thing. And since I wanted to stick with the metallics and the metal plate and the truck kind of theme, I'm grabbing my metallic adhesive back, the brushed metallic adhesive back dots. And for these, I'm gonna pick these, this color here that I think is a nice match for pecan pie. Let's see, what would you call these? These would be sort of copper, gold, and bronze, brass, brushed antique brass, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to go ahead and pop some on here. And now this is one of the places where I did initially something different and I didn't like it, and then I had to take it apart and redo. So what I did initially was I put the dots here and here and here. And I just thought, whoa, wait, that doesn't work. Now, why doesn't that work? Well, I decided it doesn't work because this diagonal is a very strong element in our card. So this little bit of dots here going against it isn't really strong enough to counter that. So I'm better off to go with it, right? If you can't beat them, join them. So I'm going to go ahead and pop a couple dots on here. So I like to do often small and a large together, and then a large or a small up there on the top. So there we have our scattered dots, and they help to strengthen our focal point a little bit. They're part of this whole region, but then they also draw attention to our greeting. And then we are going to add to the middle of our card. So speaking of, if you can't beat them, join them. The Demonstrator Starter Kit is on special starting today, and it is about the most exciting special that I've seen in a long time. So in fact, I've had people who are demonstrators already reach out to me and say, hey, so like, is there special for us? And the special for you is that you have your discount, you have pre-order access, which starts today. Don't forget to take advantage of that. But for new people who are thinking, I don't know, I have a really long wish list. Maybe I want to do this demonstrator thing and get a discount, or maybe stamp with a friend here and there. There is a 35-year special anniversary. And so you get to choose your special. So there's the inside of our card, and I'm going to show you a whole second card here in a second. But 35, you get 35% off your starter kit. So instead of being $99, it would be let's see, I'm going to switch here. Instead of being $99, it would be $64 something, $65 something. And you could also choose 35% more with your starter kit. And so then it would still be the regular $99 plus tax. Shipping is free. But you get to pick out, instead of $125 in product with the $64 kit now, you get to pick out $168.75 with the $99 kit. So two really great options, and I will post a link in the comments here or the video description on YouTube. You'll want to check that out and see, what would you put in your starter kit. So if you're looking for ideas, the supply list for today's card would be a good one. You could pull the things that you already have out and add in something that you've been really looking for. Or you could, pick whatever you want. Any current product is available. Actually, in addition, you can use the items that are on pre-order today that are Demonstrator exclusive. So perks galore for demonstrators. Of course, we get a discount on our product, which is why if you say I want it all to yourself all the time, then you need this I want it all kit, which is the Demonstrator starter kit. Or you also have perks of attending events and things like that. And one of the extra perks with the 35 special is that you actually get a free registration to the virtual On Stage at Home event coming up in November. And even if you can't watch that day, you can watch the recordings later and take advantage of those. It's a really fantastic opportunity and a really great value. So definitely check that out too. More questions, let me know. Check my website, LovenStamps.com, and all the details will be there. Are you guys ready for a second card? All right, me too. So Paper Pumpkin, woo, I whacked my camera. Paper Pumpkin is the kit that comes monthly in the mail. It comes in a cute box like this. It's wrapped in plastic, so you open your mailbox and then you have the joy of getting to open your Paper Pumpkin. And inside is a pretty tissue paper. Mine has been open, so it's a little less pretty, but a pretty tissue paper. And then inside that, every kit includes a Stampin' Spot and then a set of project pieces and a stamp set. So here's the stamp set that came with this one. Now, we have passed the period for this Love and Gratitude Paper Pumpkin, but you can still get a refill for it if you are subscribed as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So you would need to go ahead and sign up for Paper Pumpkin to get the next one, which is going to be a Christmas kit. So this is definitely one that is in high demand. So sign up by, October 10th. Sign up by October 10th for Paper Pumpkin, and you will get that Christmas kit as your first one. So it'll have its own ink spot and its own stamp set. If you get the refill doesn't include the Stampin' Spot and the stamp set, but it does include all of the pieces in the supply kit. So let's look at this one. And I'm going to tell you that there is a fantastic alternate. So sometimes people get these and they say, oh, I'm not going to use the boxes. So what could I do instead? And sometimes people get these and they're like, I need more boxes. Can you get me a refill? So yes, the refills are available right now. They are while supplies last, of course. And for each Paper Pumpkin, there is a set of directions here that show you kind of what to do. And there is a back of the project that has a couple of extra ideas. But here is the layout of what's in this kit. So let's go ahead and look at this. So these boxes are darling. They have an absolutely great burlap print on them, and they're easy to assemble. Basically, you push in the sides here. So I'm just gonna pop in the sides and fold the top down, and then I would adhere the bottom, of course, shut. But we're not gonna use this as a box, because when I looked at this, I thought, oh my gosh, look at all that burlap designer series paper. That's pretty, okay? So let's talk about that. You want to make the most of it. So I don't want to just cut across here because I don't want to waste any. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm going to slit up the side of this, and there we go. Now, of course, I'm not a great cutter of straight lines, so I'm gonna use my paper trimmer to go ahead and straighten this out. All right, so there we go, a little straighter there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the extra piece here too. All right, so we have our piece of designer series paper essentially right here. Now I have a card base. We're going to go ahead and pair this with another piece of Pretty Peacock because I couldn't get away from it. And the colors in this kit are Lost Lagoon here. So you can see Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock are so pretty together. So if you wanted to use Pretty Peacock with some of these other supplies, it would be a great choice. And we're gonna go ahead and use this. I'm gonna cut, there's a score line right here where the lid comes together. I should have trimmed just a teeny bit more, I think. Let's see. Oops, there we go. Wait, oh, I see the problem. Okay, yes, make sure that your paper is actually in the trimmer and not over the edge. And then I'm gonna go ahead and trim here to cut this piece off. And then this piece here, I need it to be somewhere on the order of 5 inches is gonna be plenty for us. So there's a piece right there, like this you could punch this and use as a tag or something like that. And then of course you have the whole back of the paper there to use for a different project. So, all right, let's bring this back in here and we are going to pop this together. And now we have a really fantastic background for our card for our trucking along. So let's go ahead and glue that down because we're gonna leave that there. All right. Oh, in 1 second, I might have to get going a teeny bit early because I think that our furnace guy is here today. So, and Pepper has alerted me. All right. So then I'm going to take the gold foil pieces from here. So gorgeous. And they are going to be right here and right here. So this is going to give us a gorgeous gold background. And then of course you could use the printed pieces here, whichever ones you want, like these sprays, and you could put this across here. I love this sort of envelope suggestion here, but we are going to do something a little different. And my doorbell is about to ring. So where did my sample card go? Oh gosh, guys. All right. We're going to stamp here in the background, and then we're going to add our truck. We're going to add another special delivery tag, and then we're going to have our finished card here. Okay, super pretty, and my ferocious watchdog is on top of it. Where did this gold piece come from? It is a cut from the edge here, so it fits just like that. All right, well, that is the shortly truncated version of our crafting. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys on Thursday. Happy stamping.